Welcome to the Spotlight series on Club TV, where we bring you inspiring stories of leaders shaping the future of technology, innovation, and society. I'm your host Rajan, and today we shine the spotlight on a visionary in the digital world. Enjoy the conversation.
My name is Shalini Mishra. I am the Group Digital Offerings Leader. My primary forte is AI, and as of now, I'm working on the AI strategy for the group and for our customers. I work for a company called Supersteria. I've been with this organization for 22 years. So my journey in IT industry has been quite rich and rewarding. I started my career with TCS, where I spent a good 6-7 years. After that, I moved to NIIT and joined a small company called Momentum Technologies, which was acquired by Sopra in 2005. And I've been a pure technophile. I used to head digital technologies for India and then became the digital transformation officer. And my current role is more BizTech, wherein I leverage technologies to create value not only for our associates but also for our customers.
Would you like to tell us your services of the company and how they can helping other stakeholders?
So Presteria is a French major in the IT services organization. We service some of the biggest names in Europe. We are a very Europe-centric organization with presence across most of the countries in Europe. Our primary verticals are defense and security, public sector, financial services, retail, telco, industries and services. Um, from the standpoint of employees, we are more than 50,000 employees across um, European countries and UK. And in India, we are around 5,000 people, primarily working on digital technologies. So we work in everything from mainframes to web techs and to emerging next gen technologies like AI, blockchain, IoT, metaverse, and so on. So we have a separate division called Soprasteria Ventures, which looks at partnerships with startups and incentivizes them. Also, we've invested in a few startups as well, which align to our vision, our goals, our mission. Having said that, there are two ways in which you can look at how Superstudio is contributing to Viksit Bharat. From our perspective, we are a great place to work. So we employ a lot of Gen Zs, and they contribute not only to the growth of the organization, but in a way we pay it forward by upskilling them and getting them future ready. Not only this, we partner with a lot of startups across the globe and make sure that that technology flows uh, through the upskilling of the young employees in India. So, in a way, through our upskilling of our employees, we are giving back to India in a very big way. Besides that, we also have a very rich CSR wing wherein we adopt schools and we take the students not only through their school journey but also take them through the competitive exams. A lot of our students have cleared IIT entrances, NEET, and a few of the graduates have been employed back by us as well.
Wait,
So we are contributing a lot to the growth of India as a whole.
that's really inspiring, ma'am. And my next question is to would you like to share one business case study within the company which is transforming your leadership journey?
So I was always a technophile. I was heading the architects community, working on all these reference architectures, review of projects, and all of that. And then uh, a few years back, it must have been 12 or 13 years back, we wanted to move to digital technologies. So I remember taking a bunch of freshers, around 4 or 5 freshers, and taking part time of the architects and designing the first sort of product called Botify, which primarily was something that uh, could be used by subject matter experts. It was a no code platform which could be used by subject matter experts to design their own virtual assistants.
Okay.
And it was agnostic of any vertical. It could be deployed for any vertical. It was our first cognitive product. And then over the next few years, we enhanced this and made it a part of the cognitive ecosystem. And it became one of our first successful products of the group in the NLP space, the natural language processing space. It was called as Alive Intelligence, and now it's been reborn as Nexus with a large language model capabilities. Having said that, that ideation, creation, and evangelism, not only across the group but across our customers, took India as the COE up the value chain and myself up the value chain as well. From a pure technophile, I evolved into BizTech space, and today I am the group digital offerings leader who works with multinational teams to create offers and promote them to customers and analysts.
Who inspired you in life? Would you like to share with our viewers?
So I had a few personal ideals who've shaped the way I am. My mother was very erudite. At the age of 19, she had done her first MA and she completed her second MA when she was 21.
Wow.
And was a lecturer who then quit to take care of me and my sister. When I got married, my mother-in-law, who was a lecturer and um, taught college students till she retired, had a massive influence on me as well. So for us, the fact that I had these two role models at home shaped the way I thought.
Yeah.
Education was extremely important. Upskilling and being relevant was extremely important. Being financially independent was extremely important. And I was taught that women can do it all.
Yes.
And one big lesson that I was taught was to be my own favorite person, love myself.
Yeah.
And that will be a key to success.
Inspired you. So my next question to you about your challenges, what you have been facing within the company.
The biggest thing that everybody should be cognizant of is change management. Technology is not just for the sake of technology. It requires a change in thought process. Adoption is the key. You may have made the best app, the best solution, but if nobody is using it, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't mean.
So the biggest thing that we did was to take everybody along.
Yeah.
Let people own what is being created. If they own it, they will ensure that it is successful.
Yes.
That is my first thing that I've tried to do. The second thing is evangelize through all the life cycle stages, which means everybody should be aware of everything that is going on when you're developing a product, because ultimately they are going to consume it.
Yes.
So they should be influencing the features that you embed in your product.
Yes.
Making it customer centric, whether internal or external, is extremely important. And the third is selling technology is the most difficult thing under the sun. So sell value. Do not sell technology.
Yes. Yes.
For me, that's the key.
Sell value. It's a lesson. Yes, selling value and adding value in the products. So would you like to share some of your movie or the book? Would you like to recommend?
Actually, there are a few. Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand is one of them.
Okay.
Fountainhead by Ayn Rand is another one. In Fountainhead, the idea was to follow passion. And for me, technology is what drives me. When through years, there are a lot of well-meaning people who advise me to move to people management, to delivery, to HR. But I stuck to what I was passionate about, which was technology, which I think caught me where I am.
Yes.
So I think the fact that, all of these books had a massive influence on my thought process and my maturity.
Have you been ever feel about when you're working like long hours in office? Like these days, these are topics like 12 hours working patterns and 14 hours and 16, or maybe 24 hours in the office. Okay.
See, I've never been a clock watcher, and neither have my bosses been. So it's always been that you given a task, you own that piece and you deliver it.
Yes.
So I personally believe that there has to be a work-life integration. So you spend a lot of your time in the office. So you have to love what you do and you have to love the people who work with you in order to be able to give your best.
Yeah.
And if you feel after 6 hours you're exhausted, it's best that you stay at home, take a break, and come back refreshed. So I've never been a clock watcher, and I don't believe in 70, 80, 90 hour books. There have been times when you put in those kind of hours, and the need of the hour is that a customer solution has to go live or something like that. But it cannot be consistently 90-hour week. That's what I believe.
Yes. Which is like, do you have any particular story from your corporate world would you like to share with us?
The biggest lesson that I would like to give the women today is, so in my trajectory, there have been times I've had to slow down. I'm married to an IT professional. There were times that he was traveling 21 days in a month and my kid was young.
Yeah.
So I did slow down at that point of time, but I rebounded. So my advice to everybody is, be kind to yourself. There are times when you might have to slow down. Don't be harsh on yourself. Just be kind. And there is nothing called perfection. Perfection is a myth.
Yes.
Just be the best version of yourself. Live in the moment. Enjoy what you do and give it your best shot. Be your favorite person. As they say in Jab Bhi Met, मैं अपनी favorite हूँ. Yeah. If you are your own favorite person, if you're happy, you will be very productive and you will succeed. That's a pot.
It's absolutely honor to have you here on our podcast.
This is Shalini Mishra signing off. Stay tuned with Club TV.
Thank you, Miss Shalini Mishra, for sparing your valuable time and sharing your incredible leadership journey with us. Your insights truly inspire and guide those of us navigating the digital frontier. A special thank you to NASCOM for making this podcast possible during the award ceremony. Your support has been instrumental in bringing this conversation to life. That's all for today's episode of the Spotlight series. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories from the world of digital innovation. Until next time, keep pushing the boundaries and leading the change.